Hi everyone, I'm back for another organization video. This time I wanted to talk about how I organize my stamps and stencils. This is, again, another kind of crate idea. I don't have a lot of my bigger spaces in my studio aren't comprised of drawers per se, but shelves with bins. I like that because it's always easy to take a bin off the shelf, put it anywhere you want, and then when you're done with it, put it away, as opposed to a drawer that you kind of have to walk back and forth to. I have drawers, but it's just not something that I use for everything. So anyway, with my stamps, I have quite a few collections because I just love stamps. Someday I hope to have some stamps too. And initially, when I first got started, I had really cool binders that I bought, and they had a clear little jacket folder that you could clip in there, and then you could slip your stamps in and out of. But the truth is, the binders that I had fell apart in like a year. They were really cheap quality, and so I had to kind of get rid of them when I moved. They just didn't last. They looked like fake leather, but they were really just like cardboard or paper, and they just tore. It was kind of painful. But the good thing that came out of it is these little clear folders that are meant for cling stamps, which most of us have now. So I kind of like the idea of these clear holders for the stamps because it contains everything. It doesn't get lost, and I can keep it upright in a little bin like this. And I'm finding that the inserts, and you can get these anywhere online. I'm sure they're on Amazon, that sort of thing. These binder inserts are really good for this. Like, most stamps have kind of a standard sheet size, at least the larger ones. So I use them for everything. I don't use them for the Tim Holtz ones because I love that his are clear already. And honestly, for the most part, I'm not having any issues with his stuff falling off. His stuff is such high quality that I don't have an issue with that. They work really hard to make sure that you can store these upright without any extras. So those kind of work fine without it. But I still have smaller sets, and even smaller sets like this. Like, All in Create makes all different sizes. They're another favorite company of mine. So what I'll do is I'll trim my little covers down that come with the stamp, and I'll kind of tape them together on the inside, and they still fit perfectly in here. And then I'll just put the stamps inside like that. So that works out really well. And even for, like, sometimes they have slightly larger one, and they have like really standard sizes. I don't know what they're called, because in America we don't use the terms as much, but it's like A5, A25. Everything seems to fit either this way or that way. Even like border stamps. I think I have one that's all border stamps somewhere. Yeah, like all my border stamps. Anyway, just cool. So I use this method a lot, and I'll also use it on occasion when I have stamps that are singles. For example, I'm trying to find a good single one. For example, Rubber Moon has this cute Keisha Davini set, who is my dear friend, and I have all these cute little stamps. So again, it's just handy to put in there. Or I got this, I think this is from Simon Says Stamp. It's a really big one which I love, and it doesn't have a home. So these little folders are just good for containing like the loose stamps. So I love that for the storage. The other company that I love that fits into these bins is Darkroom Door. I love Darkroom Door stamps. And if you get their larger sets, they come in these essentially DVD cases, but it's so cool. That's how you store the stamps, and they look so neat all lined up. And in fact, I think you can just order the cases if you want, if you have their loose stamps, and you can just put a bunch of loose stamps in one of the cases. So I just thought that was really smart and something to mention if you happen to be a Darkroom Door fan or you want these cases, because I just thought that was really cool. I'm gonna grab some of my other stamps. I'm gonna put these away, and my stamp bin is literally what I work on for my videos. And I'm gonna grab some of my other ideas for stamps. So I do have several really cool units in my studio that do have drawers, but I always make sure that the drawers come out and can be carried somewhere so that I can work with them. So I have a lot of art foamies, which is another one of my favorite companies. And these are super lightweight. They work really well when you're stamping. And I keep these in these little drawers too, so that way they all have a home. So all my art foamies go in their art foamies drawer. And then I still have a lot of wooden stamps that I cannot part with, mainly Lynn Perella stamps, because she's like one of my favorites. So I have a lot of those. I used to have bins and bins and bins back 20 years ago when we all had wooden stamps. And when cling stamps came along, it was just such a wonderful invention because it eliminated the need to do as much of the wood block stuff. But I still like them. I'll still buy them if there's just magical imagery. I don't care, wood or cling. So anyway, I held on to all my favorites. I have a lot of those. And again, those just go in these little drawers that, again, I can pull out and bring to my desk so I can work with them that way. So the next thing I wanted to show you was how I keep my stencils organized. Those I keep in clear folders that you can get at the pharmacy, the office supply store, and they kind of zip closed, but they have some space here. So for me, because I have a folder that's all my own stencils, and that way I can kind of go through, find what I need and pull it out. So all my stencils are in here. But I have stencils from a million other people. So wait, I'm pulling out non-stencil things. So after working for all the different companies, actually this is my Ranger folder, which is the biggest one. It's just insane. These are all my Dina Wakley stencils. And then I have my Dilution stencils in here. So because I've done so much with Ranger in terms of, you know, doing a lot on their project pages and helping with the new releases over there, over the years I've accumulated tons of stencils. So I started out with that bag. Initially that was my only stencil bag, my Ranger one. But then I started doing articles and projects for Stencil Girl, and so I really accumulated just a ton of stencils. So the way I organize these, if you have a lot like me, is I started doing it like the shapes that were in here. So more rounded shapes, or by company. So I have one that's all darkroom door, because I do stuff with them sometimes, and I love all their stuff. So darkroom door has its own folder. Here I have like grids and triangles. I have architecture and miscellaneous. I have one that's just Ray Missigman because she has so many great ones. The ATC sets, they have a lot of those. That's just washi. Masks. And then other like various companies like the Artisans Cachet. I have some from Andrea over in California. Why am I blanking on her? A Work of Heart Studio. Wow Studio. It's all in here. Wendy's Organic. I have like all my, I like to say all my friends' stencils in that one. Faces and animals and creatures all in here. Floral and botanical ones. And then I also have one that's just all in Crete because I've done some stuff for them too. So I have a lot of their stencils as well. And what I'll do sometimes, actually I started doing it with all in Crete, and I could have done it with some of the other companies, is, although not all the other companies send you, like All in Crete will give you a really nice like placard description of what the stencil is, and it has all the information. So I keep those in the back only because when I'm doing projects and articles for companies, I need to reference all the products that I'm using. And then this way, at least with this company, it was just easy to be able to have it all in the back there. So, because like the stamps are on the stamp sets, but this I just thought was kind of cool. So I did that in case you're thinking of keeping track of who you're using. So these were just my ideas that I wanted to share with you, storing your stamps and your stencils. And again, I'm going to try to do more and more of these videos and just pop them on here because I just think it's so handy to have different people's ideas of how to organize your stash. Because some of these ideas might really work for some people. So I'm just going to keep throwing these up here. And again, if you ever have questions or there's a video that you would love to see, just pop it in the comments because I'm always trying to read through those. And I'll see you again with another wonderful organization video.